Yep.
Okay, hello everybody. Hello. Oh my goodness. At the
What's up?
very 11th hour, nothing but technical issues. Isn't that always the way? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But
It happens to the
anyhow,
best of us.
we're
It's all
here. It's
good.
2026. It's a new year,
New year, new vibes,
and we're going to
new
be doing more
motivation.
live streams like this. And
Absolutely.
today's guest is Blay Armah. And
Hey,
I'm so
what's up,
excited
Emma?
to have you on. Thank you so much for joining.
It's an honor to be here. You and I, we always have a good time. So I'm looking forward to this. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, you're most welcome. So, I've been wanting to talk to you again because I think it's really important for people to know about you, to know about your background, to know about where you grew up, and to know about all the wonderful things you're doing in film. So, I don't want to speak for you. I want you to tell the people, and then we'll talk about, some of the films you've done in the past and your upcoming films. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to allow Blay to tell us a little bit more about himself.
Well, yeah. First and foremost, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to survive the last year. I'm glad to be alive to see another year. So that's what's up. Last year, 2025 was a productive year. Hopefully, 2026 will be another productive year. And all the hard work that I put in, effort I put in the previous year will show up this year. So I got 3 shorts in post production right now. God willing, I'll be able to share all 3 this year. So I'm looking forward to that. And filmmaking, it's my love, it's my passion, it makes my soul dance. I'm kind of disappointed that I figured out my love and passion for film, well, specifically filmmaking, kind of late in my, I don't want to say years because then that's gonna make me sound old, but like I just wish I would have had this discovery when I was in high school. So, I could have applied more years, but it's all good. It's better late than
It's
never.
never too late.
Exactly.
It's never too late.
Exactly.
When you find
100%.
your passion, you find it and you find it in God's good timing. So,
God's good time. God's time's the best time for sure.
always.
Always, always. So yeah, like I did participate in a few filmmaking programs in high school, but it wasn't serious. It was more of a pastime, just to like keep myself out of trouble. But I didn't. When I discovered like, okay, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life full time, is when a friend of mine from a high school approached me, and she's like, I need help writing the script. The script at that time was based on an experience that I was going through, being on house arrest, dealing with charges, this, that, and the third. As the title says, from Jane Finch to the director's chair. So absolutely, I love my community. I love my neighborhood. I love the person it made me out to be, but I'm definitely not defined by my environment. If anything, I've learned a lot. It's made me stronger. It's made me wiser. So I'm thankful for that. And it's been able to produce a lot of stories. So really grateful for that. And yeah, so when I got the opportunity to step on foot, my very first production on set for the first time, it was beautiful. It was invigorating, it's just, it shook the room inside my heart, inside my core. And that's when I said to myself, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Prior to that, I was in the music industry. I was a rapper, a songwriter, this, that, and the third. I've performed all over the city. I performed in the States. Good times, but I feel like the environment in the film industry is a lot more welcoming. Like just witnessing the amount of people it takes just to produce one film, and then everybody working in unison, and like the collaboration, and just it, it was just it was magical, it was special, and that's when I realized, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Because I've always been a creative. I've always been a creative. From before I hit double digits, just drawing pictures of my favorite cartoon characters, and then stepping into the music scene, and then now filmmaking. So I write, I direct, and I also act on the side as well. I have um, an acting agent, and I've done commercials, I've done other productions, features, and things like that. So like, yeah, just anything that involves in the film industry, like I'm game, I'm all in, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. And just every day I'm looking for opportunities to sharpen my sword and just build on my craft and become a better creative at that, because that's what it is. You just created art, right? And then sharing it with the masses.
And good art at that. But
Yeah.
I had the pleasure, for people who don't know, I had the pleasure of visiting the set of your upcoming film called For Her.
For
And I got to witness the whole uh, experience, the whole process as well. And I love film anyway. Like
yeah,
I've always been more of a movie watcher than TV programs. I love movies, and I love action. I love thriller. I love suspense. That's like the genre I love. And then when I feel like I want to be melancholy or whatever, then I'll watch a romantic. I don't know. but my bigger thing is, like, give me fighting, give me things that make me think
action, the
pieces,
drama, yeah.
right? Action, drama, suspense, So when I saw the scene, what filmed, I was like,
You
I
don't
was
want to give
already.
too much away.
I'm not gonna give it away.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is, when I saw that scene being filmed, it's like, I can't wait to see this movie. I was already interested. So but before For Her, you did this other movie called A Closer Eye. And that one was, kind of, well, I'll let you tell everybody what the premise is, and then we'll play the trailer.
No problem. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Like that's the film and script that a friend of mine from high school approached me to help her write the script. So it's called A Close Eye. It's another short. It's about a young gentleman who's on house arrest for the first time, and to deal with that experience, to cope with the situation, he turns to drugs, right? And we're going on a journey with him, how just witnessing how he deals with this experience, and like dealing with family and friends, and just when you're on house arrest you feel like you're alone, right? And that's kind of like the main purpose of it. Like you gotta distance yourself from like the people you used to hang out with, and it's like it's supposed to serve as a moment of rehab, right? And just focus on yourself, working on yourself, making better and wiser decisions. Yeah, and all that good stuff. He comes across a love interest throughout this journey, and then she's like the beacon of hope in his life. The motivation of getting him on the right track. So yeah, and I was gonna say, like, again, when we went through the pre-production process, we found our director, we hired the rest of the production crew, and then we went into casting all of the great talent that you'll see in the trailer and in the film. Walking into the room that we rented out for rehearsals and just watching everybody rehearse the dialogue that I created, and then using the names of the characters that I created, that's the part that really got me hooked. It's like, damn, I created this, and like,
Right, a feeling, right?
yeah, like I kind of felt like a god at that point. Like I'm seeing my character come to life right in front of my eyes. Like he's moving, he's walking, saying the words. Like, god damn, like I don't have kids right now, but like that was like, it may sound corny, but like that was like the closest experience I would get, compared to like having a child. So it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. So yeah,
And
close.
I saw the movie, and to everybody that's watching, I put the link to the film, A Close Eye. It's pinned to the comment field, and it's also in the description area as well. So you can go head over to YouTube and watch it. It's a short film, and I will say this, and I've already told Blay this. I was very mad at the end, because I was like, "How dare you? How dare you?" And that's all I'm gonna say. You gotta go watch it, right? So Let us just watch the trailer. I've got to go get it again because I had technical issues. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab it and we will watch the trailer. And I don't know why I'm having so many technical issues. It always has to be at the very 11th hour, right? Oh. Anyway, family, coming right up.
So good. We got this. We got this.
Young man, rise.
After all I've done for you to get your ass out of jail, you keep taking your freedom for granted, Brandon. You're gonna learn soon enough.
What freedom?
Yo, B. Yo, what's good, bro?
When they let you free?
You're a damn little boy, and that's the reason you're in this mess in the first place.
Brandon. No. He doesn't even mean anything to me.
Then why are you here with him? They catch you doing that. You're going right back to jail. Maybe we can hang out sometime.
Give me your phone.
Every time I try to make things right, back to where I'm started.
It's a good movie, fam. It's a really, really good movie. And even though it's a short movie, it seems long.
Oh yeah,
because it's, you know what I mean? Like there's so much to this the story.
yeah.
And I loved it. Personally, I loved it. I encourage everybody to watch it. But then at the same time, we have to talk about the new film and tell everybody about For Her and the inspiration of that film.
So for her, the log line is a recently released young Black man burdened by family responsibilities meets his daughter for the first time while navigating daddy issues. Right. So this is something that's very common in the Black community. You know, the single parent household rate is very high. I also come from a single parent household. A lot of my brothers, my day ones also come from a single parent household. So it's very high in our community. And like, I just wanted to share a story of, you know, the benefits of coming from a 2-parent household and how if the father's removed from the household or if the father decides not to take responsibilities, the catastrophic effects that it, you know, occurs on the child could be, you know, it affects the child, right? It could determine whether they make good or bad decisions, right? It affects their development. So I wanted to shine light on that and, you know, to show people that children, like I've always said this, every child deserves to have parents, 2 parents.
Agree. Mm-hmm.
But not every parent deserves to have children, you know.
That is true too.
Right. And, you know, I love kids, you know, I really do love kids. So I thought it would be pretty cool because I watch a lot of movies myself and I haven't really seen a movie that really focuses on the single parent household rate. And of course, you know, we've made it interesting, you know, we've incorporated drama and the action, right, to, you know, bring out moviegoers and fill up seats. But the core theme is if a child grows up in a single parent household, he or she is more likely to face incarceration, get into drugs,
Go down a wrong path.
Right? And the responsibility of a parent is to give their children a better life than they had, right? So yeah, that's what For Her is all about. You know, just a parent, a young Black man, he realizes that growing up, he didn't really have the best life. He grew up in a single parent household, which led him to make, you know, some bad decisions growing up, getting into street activity, getting into gangs and things like that. So now when he finds out he has a child of his own, he doesn't want to repeat repeat that cycle. He wants to break generational curses, right? Break that cycle. So he aims to be the best parent. He takes responsibility, something that his father didn't take or had the courage to do, but he's willing to do that now because, again, he wants to break that cycle. He wants to end it, you know. And he wants to ensure that his daughter has a fruitful life, you know, become a successful being in society, you know.
And that's what I love about this movie because, we see so many movies out here that have black gangsters and even TV shows like Power and Empire. And they're all this just not setting good examples for their kids, even though it's two parents or a broken home, whatever the case may be. So what I loved about this is you're kind of breaking that narrative in this movie because it is really a love story to your child. It's like literally, I'm not going to allow the heavy attachment of my past and my past mistakes dictate my future. And then I have this little girl that I have to now think about, which isn't always the case for a lot of, no, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's not always the case for Black men who have come out of being incarcerated and stuff like that. Oftentimes they're repeat offenders. But you had
out of the, especially when it feels like that's all you know. This is the environment you were born into, and like you have nothing else. You feel like there's no other option. So like they just keep, doing it, right?
Right. But in this movie, you see this little life and you're like, I'm not going to do that, even though you may be tempted or drawn back in. So that's what I loved about it, is that the premise of this film is I'm breaking that narrative that, if I come out of jail and I find out I have a child, I'm doing everything possible to make a better life for myself and for my child. So that's what I love.
Yeah, that's my goal, or try to deliver the message and make a difference. All the shows that you mentioned earlier, like Power and etc., those shows are cool. Don't get me wrong, right?
I don't care for them. I don't. But
I hear you. And to be honest, I'm not even a big fan of Power either. Like I tried watching a couple of episodes.
Me too. I think I got through the first half hour of one and I was like, I'm done. I'm so done.
I feel you. I feel the same way. It didn't resonate. It didn't catch me, And like I was gonna say, like, yeah, shows like that, but it has a massive fan base. Like,
well, Bad Behavior seems to be the draw, I find.
Yeah.
More so than, even movies about slavery, I find don't do as well as movies like something to do with like a Power or an Empire, right?
Yeah.
They tend to really take off. Like, even when you think about those movies like American Gangster and,
American Gangster, that was a really good film, though.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying those kinds of films seem to be the ones that really do well, right? As opposed to if it was, I don't know, a film that just basically talks about, I don't know, 5 really good families like The Cosby Show. The Cosby Show was really good back in that day because The Cosby Show broke the narrative. There was this perfect Black family that you just didn't see, right? Lawyer, doctor, well-to-do family with well-adjusted kids, and you just didn't see it because when you go back, you think of Good Times and you think of the Jeffersons and you think of, All in the Family and those shows where they actually touched on a lot of these things that people are just afraid to touch now. In this day and age, you can get canceled in a second for something and all these things are censored and all that stuff. But they will still allow shows like The Power and The Empire. And I want to see Black positivity.
Absolutely. Because you know what it is, Emma? Negativity sells.
Yes.
Sex sells. Right?
Yeah. So, and a lie sells.
Oh,
a lie can travel faster than anything else.
Because a lie is always entertaining, right? It's more entertaining than the truth. It's very unfortunate, but that's just the society that we live in, right? And there's a reason why. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, back to Power. Like they're okay, they're cool, right? They have a large fan base, right? But like
Yeah.
for me, if we're gonna create a gangster flick, right? There's got to be a theme behind it. There's got to be some kind of meaning behind it. Like, what's the motive? Like, why does the protagonist feel that he has to go out and sell drugs? Like,
Right.
what's the motive behind it? Is he just doing it just because he thinks it's cool, or is he doing it because he's trying to put food on the table? He's trying to provide for his family, right? So these are the type of films that I would like to, create and share with the world, right? Like it's got to be more than just a gangster flick. And like you mentioned, we have thousands and thousands of gangster movies, right? But like, like for each film, like how did they stand apart from the rest of the films that are out there, right? There's got to be a meaning behind it, and that's my goal, to try to tell that type of story. Like, for example, for her, Emmanuel, I don't want to give too much away, but he's
No,
in the
try not
street.
to.
He's in the streets because he's trying to provide for his family. This is not something that he wants to do, but he feels like this is something that he has to do in order to like relieve some stress off the shoulders of his mother, take care of his sister, his brother, right? He's got to take the father figure role because his father is absent, right?
Yeah.
And this is a story for a lot of my brothers that I grew up with in Jane Finch, right? At a time like I was, in that type of lifestyle in order to like help out my dukes because aka mom, sorry, that's the Jane Finch slang coming out. Because my father wasn't there. Right? But yeah, like you said, we have great depictions of a natural, real Black family, like the Cosby Show, like you mentioned, right? And that's the reason why these shows, Sanford and Son, are classic reruns, because
Yes.
the messaging behind these shows, right? And it puts Black families, Black folks in a brighter light versus a gangster flick or like a kid smoking dope in his bedroom. Like, what's the purpose, right? And I feel like they try to like duplicate or try to like remake that sort of imaging or message with like a modern twist, like shows like Blackish. But the reason why I don't like Blackish, because like majority of the members in the family are lighter than you and I, are light skinned.
It's not the traditional. Again,
No.
when you go back to Good Times, for example, where you had they weren't a well-to-do family, right? They were more on the poverty side, right? The impoverished side. But you still had the strong father unit, strong family unit with the strong dad who was the disciplinarian, who, got his kids together. They touched on all the very important topics that happen, in Black families, and they showed how you can still, even though you may not have a lot of money and stuff, how you can still be this strong family unit. And that
Absolutely.
is lacking, I find. And like you
Yeah.
said, and they are like Black, okay, you know what I'm saying? But maybe that's why that show is called Blackish. I don't know, but
Yeah, there you go.
but I never got into the modern shows of today. That I never got into them.
Because
I
it's
still
like
go back and watch the Jeffersons and Good Times and all of that. I'm still watching those shows.
I don't
And when
blame
it
you.
comes
I
to
don't blame you.
movies, I'm very intentional on
Mhm.
not consuming movies that constantly depict negative stereotypes and
Yeah,
narratives about us.
yeah, but
Just the other day I watched 6888, and I thought, and it's a Tyler Perry movie that stars Kerry
well,
Washington.
that's where you went wrong. That's where you went wrong.
Well, you know what? You normally do lose me at Tyler Perry, but
Yeah. Okay, go
this
ahead.
movie, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. And it's based on a true story, and it's about these Black women who were in the military, and they were responsible for getting the mail to loved ones. that were sent by the soldiers. And it is like literally it's a beautiful movie that shows these strong Black women that defied the odds, dealt with racism and everything else, but they managed, because there was like a massive backlog. I'm trying not to spoil it for people that haven't seen it, but there was a massive backlog of mail. I'm talking thousands and thousands and thousands of mail that soldiers had written to their family members that wasn't getting to them. And they had to go through all of that mail and figure out, sometimes they even had to figure out who it was for. And they found really intelligent ways to figure it out and get it to the family. And nobody else was able to do that. So it was one of those movies that it was inspiring. It was beautiful. It was heartwarming. Again, positive story about Black women, intelligent, strong Black women. So I'm very intentional on watching these kinds of movies and consuming this kind of information, right down to documentaries and everything. So again, I say that's what I loved about your film, is that without spoiling it, all I'm going to say is that the narrative that you spun on this was not the stereotype, which is I'm going to end up going back into prison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like the protagonist doesn't learn his lesson. He just becomes
right.
Kind of like,
and it's not to say that doesn't happen, but it also does happen that a lot of them turn their life around. So it's time that we focus on those that turn their life around, instead of saying, oh, the narrative is that they end up going back. And that's just what a Black man's life is. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I love.
And thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you. That means a lot. And what's cool about this is that it's a Black writer, it's a Black director telling this story, this Black story. A lot of times in Hollywood, you have white writers or a white director trying to tell a Black story. And it falls flat because it's not authentic, because that person didn't live that lifestyle. How can they relate? Would you know what it's like to live as a Black person in this world, in today's society, right? So that's not the case for this story, right? Like this story is not based on me, but like I did incorporate or instill my likeness and my personality into the character, right? This story is a combination of experiences of the people I grew up and include myself, right? That spawned and gave birth for her, right? So yeah, a lot of people, when you watch this, a lot of people will be able to relate to the story. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. Because again, my goal is, just like you said, try to change the narrative.
Yeah.
Because again, you and I were tired of seeing the same old story. Black man's in the hood, shooting up the rivalry hood, like just being a menace, right? But like, what's the motive? What's the meaning? Why does he feel like he has to go ahead and, do these things, right? And what my story is, like, the main theme, this person's trying to provide for his daughter, and he's willing to take some risky, he's willing to make some sacrifices in order to ensure that his daughter lives the best life that she can possibly live. And again, I'm trying to show people that we're more than just gangsters, right? Hoodlums, thugs, right? We can be lawyers. We can be a scientist. We can be a dentist, a judge. Like, the possibilities are endless. Like, we shouldn't be left to just, being a homie in the hood, just slanging drugs, or a rap or a basketball player. Like, we're talented individuals. Like, sky's the limit for us, or maybe beyond the sky, right? All we have to do is just apply ourselves, right? And not in a million years, if you were to ask, the 8-year-old Blay, like, I never would have thought that I would be in the space that I'm in today, that I would be in the film industry, that I would be a writer, director, writing. You know how much you need? A lot of patience to write a script.
Oh, okay? I can only imagine.
Like, like let's really talk about it. Like I have a feature script that's ready, and like one of the first drafts I wrote about 140 pages. 140 pages. So now just think about
Wow.
the amount of patience you need to have to sit your ass down, put yourself in front of a computer and write all day to create 140 pages. And
Well,
like
you must be inspired too, right? Something must inspire you to actually sit and write like that. And you have to have a love for the art, you know,
absolutely,
and really,
that's what
really have that deep rooted investment and love for the art, right?
absolutely
Um,
that's what makes
Teresa
it.
has said, "Good, Blay, you are using your God-given talents wisely, useful example to follow." Exactly, Teresa. Hey,
Thank
Teresa,
you,
what's up?
Teresa.
Thanks so much for joining. That is exactly true. That's why I was so interested in and talking. And again, I had the pleasure of seeing a scene. So I am waiting like a setting hen to watch this movie. And so
Yeah,
with that, can you tell us when we can expect this movie to come out?
I can't give you the exact date. I can't do that. I can't do that to the people. Just know that we're in post production. I've already seen a couple of cuts of the film, and it's looking.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
that's good.
oh yeah, oh yeah. So like she's cooking. She's cooking. The turkey's in the oven. She's roasting. She's not quite ready, but she's getting there. She's getting there. So and like I said, I've
That's
seen the cuts and
great.
they're real good. I'm very self-critical of my art and myself. So like when I say something is looking good, it's looking good. So soon, real soon, real soon.
Oh, I
And
can't wait.
in the film
And
industry,
you
when
know
you're
what?
filmmaking.
When it's ready to come out, we can have another conversation to just talk about it, right?
Oh,
Um,
absolutely,
to do a
absolutely,
follow-up. And
for
and
sure,
then maybe by then you'll have a trailer and everything that we can
for
show.
sure, for sure, and you'll
So
be
I'm really looking forward to it. I have to just say it's to me, it's again, I'm very addicted to pieces that speak about the positivity. And I'm not suggesting negativity doesn't exist, but it exists in all nationalities, right? So, but what you don't see is all nationalities doing so much content that talks about the negative side of it. Like,
and
yes,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
see the mafia and you see, you see some of that too as well for sure. But when you think about it, if I had to think at the top of my mind, what Italian mafia movie can I remember? And it's like Scarface. It's Goodfellas.
Yeah,
It's The
for sure.
Godfather. But you don't, and those are classics from way back.
Yeah,
But we continue to see so much of that.
yeah.
With black writers and directors and stuff. And I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I know it's there, but we
That's
need
what I
to
said
start.
earlier. Like it's cool and it's important that it's a black man telling this black story because now I'm in control of the narrative, right? I'm in control of how I would like to, portray my black protagonist as well as the other black supporting actors in the film, right? Don't get me wrong, like you are going to see some action in the film. There is some action, there is some street activity, all of that's in there. But like I said,
And
the
that's okay to put it in there because that's real. It's
Mhm,
not like it's not realistic, right? It's
exactly,
it's real and it's a fact.
it's
So
a
I
fact.
have no issue with that.
But the main thing is, what is the purpose? What is
Correct.
the purpose? Is there a goal that this young gentleman trying to achieve? You know, again, like, is he just doing it just to do it, just because he thinks it's cool, or is he doing it because he's trying to provide for his family? So that's the thing that folks need to focus on and remember, right? And I think they're gonna walk out of the theaters, with a better, uh, perception of black folks, of a black man who comes from Toronto community housing, right? Hopefully, that's the goal that I'm trying to achieve, right? When people watch my film, because I've had this experience, like walking into an establishment and having like eyes on me, people judging me just based on my appearance, right?
Yep.
Because their minds have already been made up from like
they're prejudiced. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, no,
Yeah, I
there's
mean, I think as Black people, we can all hold up an example of being, either followed or racially profiled some way, shape, or form.
yeah,
And sometimes we just have to be Black. Like you could be wearing a business suit. You know what I'm saying? And you could be labeled as Denzel Washington's character in American Gangster. So
yeah,
it's just we can't win. But at the end of the day, I think it's very important that we change that narrative. And
absolutely,
we
absolutely,
start focusing on edutainment instead of entertainment. Let
yeah,
us do something where we have a beginning, a middle, and an end, but the end changes and breaks that, like you said, generational curse. And again, for her, that's what I love about it. And Teresa says, I'm not so far from Jane and Finch. I know the area to some extent. There we
that's,
go.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Jane and Finch is literally is life of its own.
yeah, born and raised, born and raised, and yeah, yeah. If you don't have the willpower to, go out and find something that you love and pursue that, you're gonna succumb to the environment, politics, and all the things that come with it, right? The
And I'm so glad
influence.
that that's not you. That's not your story. You have come out of that area and you're doing something really good. And you're using, the life and the breath of that area to create art,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what I love.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, like you don't have to be defined by your environment, but you can use it as a vessel, as an engine to push you, towards something that you're trying to like achieve, right? It builds character. It builds character when you've gone through struggles, some hardship, gone through some potholes on your journey. Don't allow that to discourage you, but again, just let it motivate you to a higher purpose, a higher calling, to eventually get to the end of the finish line, right? And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Right. And like I always say, and I say this moreover, is that you can let go of the heavy attachment to
Yeah,
your past,
yeah,
and don't allow it to dictate your future. And
yeah.
there's always opportunities. You should never think
Hmm.
I'm Black, so I can't do it, or they'll just say no to me. And it's about shifting your mindset and letting go of
Yeah,
that
that's what it
that
is.
slave
That's what it
mentality,
is.
and that self-hate, that we gotta get past that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's self-hate. That could be a mother beep. But no one's perfect. No one's
No, of
perfect. Right?
course, there is no perfect person.
Mhm. Like I said,
That's non-existent, but we can be perfectly imperfect and still
yeah,
be a work in progress. And you know what I mean? So and
absolutely.
and have those, like I always have. I got a lot of self affirmations for myself.
Same.
And if I don't succeed at something, I say to myself, well, I bet you I'm gonna the next time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna allow that to bring me down. And when you're in this line of work, you have to deal with a lot of negative comments, a lot of hate
Yeah.
messages and stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm very much a focus on the positive type of person. So
Same.
if I get 100 kind words and 10 evil, I'm not going to focus on that evil. But where some people will allow themselves to be consumed by that evil and not pay attention to all the kind things that people are saying, all
Mhm.
the encouraging and all the love you're getting, because you're never going to please everybody. You will
Mhm.
never in life please everybody. It's
Mhm. Mhm.
impossible. So you're going to have people that are not going to agree with you. They're going to have people that are not going to even like your voice, your face, your what you had to say, your movies.
But that
But
shouldn't be the focal point. That shouldn't matter at all.
exactly my
You just gotta
point.
keep going. You just gotta keep going.
Exactly. And that's, I feel like you are an example of that. You really are, because you come from the stereotype that people talk about when it comes to Black families, which is, a single parent household living in the hood, if you will, in an environment that's inner city, surrounded by drugs and drug dealing and all this other gang related activity and all of those things. But your story is different. You have taken that and you've created art with it. And not only that, you've created art that changes the narrative of the ending is not predictable. So if I
Yeah,
sat in the
yeah,
theater and I watched that story, I'll be like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm about to check out, because all that's happening is it's just the same old thing over and over again. But that's not the case. This is what I love. This is what I like to consume. So I really appreciate that. And I can't stop talking about it, even though I've not seen the movie yet, family. I've not. I just know the premise alone has me captivated, you
that's
know.
a good thing.
So unfortunately, you can't tell us when this movie is coming out yet. But
I
as
don't
I
want to break
said,
hearts.
yes, as I said, we will be sharing, or Blay will be back anyway.
Absolutely.
Once we know when it's coming out, and we can play the trailer and all
Mhm.
that stuff. But in the meantime, Blay, like, tell everybody where they can find you.
Instagram underscore dead poet 1, or you can find me as Esquire. I have 2 names on Instagram. On YouTube, Blaze the Fireman 1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. As soon as the movies are out of post production and we've gone through film festivals, rest assured they'll definitely be up on my YouTube channel for others to see. But we just have to get through the film festival run first, and then I'll be able to upload on YouTube. Even before uploading the films on YouTube, I'm gonna have a premiere. We'll premiere the films, all 3 shorts at the same time, to family and friends. And once we get through that, then I'll upload onto YouTube for the rest of the world to see. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Instagram again, Esquire, or you can find me as underscore dead poet 1, I believe, and on YouTube, Blaze the Fireman.
Awesome. And Teresa says, I encourage you, Blay, to look into Poland's history to find out lots of similarity. The movie from your perspective will be captivating. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, thank you, Teresa. I'm gonna add that to my to-do list.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward to this film coming out. I cannot wait. And I know some film festivals that I'm 100% sure that you should submit to. But we will talk about that offline. But yes, I'm so excited. And as I said, family, I have pinned the link to Blay's movie, A Closer Eye.
Yeah, it's the first film I produced and wrote. So
Yeah, and
you guys let me know what you think.
yeah, drop a comment, go over to YouTube, watch it, drop a comment, show Blay some love. Show Blay some love.
And I've gotten a lot better since then. That film came out in 2020, just before the pandemic got really crazy.
Oh wow.
We also premiered it in Black History Month too. So it was very, the atmosphere, the vibe, it felt really, Afrocentric.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. I can't wait. I'm so excited for you. I really am.
Yeah, we
And
might do it again. Well, no, it's too early. I was gonna say I could premiere my upcoming films in Black History Month, but that's like next month, and I don't think my films are gonna be ready by then. So
too bad.
again,
But that's okay.
yeah.
We want it to be right. So when it's ready.
Exactly. And I was gonna say that what I've learned as a filmmaker, like, it's necessary to take your time when you're creating.
Yeah, don't rush it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
how you're gonna be able to ensure that you create a high quality film. So
Absolutely. Well, I'm waiting with bated breath. I can't wait. And I'm going to play the trailer to A Closer Eye again for everybody to run over and watch. And yeah, let us just watch it again.
Let's do it.
Oh boy, I tell you, let us start all over. Here we go. I tell you, these technical issues. It doesn't want to add to the stage. There we go.
It's
Oh.
2026.
Young man, rise.
After all I've done for you to get your ass out of jail, you keep taking your freedom for granted, Brandon. You're gonna learn soon enough.
What freedom?
Yo, B. Yo, what's good, bro?
When you letting you free?
You're a damn little boy, and that's the reason you're in this mess in the first place.
Brandon. No. He doesn't even mean anything to me.
And why you here
Now
with
the
him?
music is original, by the way.
It is, eh?
Oh yeah, she created a soundtrack to
Fight
both
back,
the films. And that's what I plan on doing for
Maybe we can hang out
the next
sometime.
3 films that I have coming.
Rita, I try and make things
Doing
right.
music,
That's
soundtrack,
where I'm
doing
starting.
films. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice package. Soon.
Woohoo! I can't wait. So that's a closer eye, and as Blaze said, that's from 2022, but it's a good
2020.
watch. Sorry, 2020. Sorry. So it's a good one to watch. So please go ahead and watch that, and look out for Blay. Follow him on his socials so you can stay up to date on where we're at with the new film that's coming up and his other projects. And he'll be back to talk about it as they are ready to be, viewed by the people. But thank you, Blay. Thanks so much for coming on, joining me live, and talking about your beautiful art. And thank you to the viewers that are here watching. And as I said, follow Blay, and we'll be back again.
And just before I leave, sorry, Emma, just before I leave, I want to make sure that I shout out the production team.
Please.
We hired talented individuals that helped me film this story that I believe might spark a light bulb in someone's head, right? And that's my goal. But I want to take the time to definitely shout out the production team, everybody involved, from the PAs to the AD to the production designer to the cast. We casted a talented group of actors. They did a remarkable job. They brought the characters to life. They were very, very believable. And yeah, just everybody involved. Oh, and I also want to shout out to Canada Council of the Arts that supported this production, funded this production, and without them, this film wouldn't be possible. So yeah, shout outs to Canada Council of the Arts and everybody involved, the whole production team and the cast. Thank you. I couldn't have done this without you guys.
It takes a village,
It takes a village.
And I learned that from coming to set. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of people involved, and it's a lot of hours.
A lot of hours, right?
Yeah, for a 2-hour film or a 30-minute film, you have no idea how much work.
And not even for a 10-minute film.
Yeah, how much work is involved.
Right? It still involves 12 hours, So like, it's beautiful when people, like-minded individuals, come together and work on one goal, right? And everybody puts in 150% effort. They care. They share their input. It's just, man, it's beautiful, man, and I love it. And that's why I'm in this space. And I pray that I'm able to create some more projects, more films. So
I love it. I love it. I love the whole idea of film. And Teresa says she'll be back. Thank you, Teresa. So again, thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate you very much. Thank you, Blay, and we will be back again soon.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy 2026. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share this broadcast. And tune in tomorrow. We'll be back again with another one. And we got a comment here from Brandon. Looking forward to seeing For Her. It was a privilege working with the whole team.
Oh, what up, Brandon?
Hey, Brandon.
What up, Brandon? What's up? What's up,
Thank
boy?
you so much, Brandon.
Man.
I remember Brandon too.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Brandon is the most talented second AC in this country, man. I couldn't have hired a better second AC. This guy is a pro, man.
Well, Brandon, share this broadcast so everybody knows about it. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you for joining the live stream. And as I said, everybody, please share. And please follow Blay and everybody else in the crew. This is beautiful work. And I'm looking forward to watching this film. So thank you again, everybody. We shall see you again. Until then, please be safe, everyone.
Be safe.
Peace.